Today's pre-calc lesson is about hyperbolas, which are a certain type of graph that you may or may not have seen before. If the opening is horizontal, or if they open horizontally, then the general equation is x minus h, quantity squared, over a squared, minus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. You should notice that the main difference here between this and ellipses is that this is a minus and not a plus. Again, the a squared is always the bigger one, so that's if a is greater than b. And then, let's see what else I want to tell you. In general, a has to be greater than b. To find c squared, we're going to do a squared plus b squared. So that's that Pythagorean theorem that you're familiar with. To find the vertices, you're going to do h plus a comma k and h minus a comma k. Of course, the h is coming from the center and the a is coming from the larger bottom, which has to be square rooted first. The co-vertices are coming from h comma k plus b and h comma k minus b. And the foci are coming from h plus c comma k and h minus c comma k. Okay, the last thing is on this one, the asymptotes are y equals plus or minus b over a times x minus h plus k. All of that information is if it opens horizontally. And then, so you should be asking, well, what happens if it opens vertically? So let's look at that. If it is opening vertically, then that's y minus k quantity squared over a squared. See, this changed places from here to here. Now the y is above the larger, minus k minus h quantity squared over b squared equals 1. And the vertices, so I'm just going to list these kind of to the side of this other piece that says vertices, are h and k plus a and h and k minus a. The co-vertices are h plus b comma k and h minus b comma k. The foci are h and k plus c and h and k minus c. And the asymptotes are y equals plus or minus a over b, again that's flipped there, times x minus h plus k. Okay, so that's our general information. Let me zoom out just a little bit here. That's our general information for hyperbolas. Let's go ahead and look at an example. Number 1. I want you to determine the center, the vertices, the foci, and the asymptotes of the hyperbola with the equation, so using the equation, and sketch. Okay, so that's kind of a lot of instructions. Let's start with what you'd be given, which is x minus 2 quantity squared over 1 minus y plus 3 quantity squared over 3 equals 1. So that's our equation. Okay, let's go ahead and start labeling some stuff. That's the beginning of this process. And then once we label everything, we should be able to draw it out. The center, of course, is HK. Now, the x comes first, so that means it's horizontal. So let's go ahead and write that somewhere. Since the x comes first, it's horizontal. The center, HK, the signs are opposite, so it's 2, negative 3. The vertices are at h plus a, comma k, and h minus a, comma k. So let's figure out our a, which is the square root of 1, which is 1, and our b, which is the square root of 3, which is just square root of 3. And so if we go ahead and do our vertices, we have h plus a, so h is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, comma k, which is negative 3. And let's see, the other one would be 2 minus 1, which would be 1, comma negative 3. Our co-vertices would be our h, which is 2 and 2, and then it's k plus b and k minus b. So k is negative 3 plus the square root of 3 is about negative 1.27, and then negative 3 minus the square root of 3 is about negative 4.78. Those are those two values. The foci is using that c. So to find c, we've got to do a squared plus b squared, which is 1 plus 3 equals c squared, 4 equals c squared, and 2 then equals c. So to find our foci, we have h plus c, so 2 plus 2, which is 4, negative 3, 2 minus 2, which is 0, negative 3. And then our asymptotes are y equals, and then that's plus or minus the b, which is square root of 3, over the a, 1, times x minus 2, because that's our h, plus k, which is negative 3. Okay, to figure that out then, we're going to just, we'll leave that, of course, that part, that square root of 3 over 1 could just be reduced if we needed to look at that. Okay, to sketch this thing, we're going to go ahead and draw our x and y axis. Our center is at 2, negative 3. 1, 2, 3, about right here. Our vertices are at 3, negative 3. So 3, negative 3, and 1, negative 3. Our co-vertices are at 2, negative 1.27, and 2, negative 4.78. And when I do that, I'm going to create a box all the way around the vertices and the co-vertices. I'm going to draw a diagonal through the center and the corners of that box, and then I'm going to take my foci and draw those into place at 1, 2, 3, 4, and negative 3, and at 0, negative 3. Those are my foci. And so my hyperbola kind of hugs those asymptotes here and here, and the foci is somewhere in between. If you can follow those instructions, the trickiest part of this is just to watch your signs and look for what formula. You will be given all that information. So now it's time for you to test this. Assignment 9 is page 760. It's 1 to 4, 7, and 10. So that's just 6 quick problems for you to try. Good luck, and let me know if you have questions.